too. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath, and I just like having these little talks on how I feel about things. I'm about to do something I don't know if I've done more than 2 times, maybe 3 times on the interwebs. I'm about to eat my breakfast, and today I'm super excited because I thought I didn't have honoring the stupid cousins yet again. I thought I was out of bagels. Then I found that I had bagels. Thanks, Benny. And then I put jalapeno cream cheese on it and I air fried some little pepperoni circles. Little pepperoni chips in the air fryer on my Philadelphia cream cheese jalapeno cream cheese pepperoni on a bagel. That's my breakfast today. So Mom's gonna get up soon. I wanted to do a talk. I'm gonna make like a little taco out of it because it's crunchy and I don't want the parts to fall out. So this is what you call grubbing, man. It flatters the chef. When somebody sees you make food and you like are having an intimate relationship with the vibrational frequency of that food, nailed it. Don't need to nail them because you nailed it. How do you circumvent chasing sensation and getting disease? I calm my disease with food. It's important though. Everything in moderation. Yep. So, I went down a memory road this morning. The woman I used to know, a girl I used to know. I was 26, 27, she was 21, and taught me about the A game. So what's the A game? Marge, you gotta step up your A game. You're contending with police officers in Philadelphia. You gotta show me that you really, you gotta really woo me. So I said, okay, let me go back into my registry and see of all the rom-coms I ever watched and see what they did to woo her. And so like I would take her on the weekend to Kansas City, or I would get tickets because they have like day of tickets, and I knew people that worked at radio stations, so the day of the show I would be like, hey, you got any tickets for tonight's Broadway Across America show for, and that's how I saw. I would take her, like this one time I went to her sponsor, she had a meeting on Friday. I went to her life mentor and I said, I got these tickets to go see Rent tonight. Can I take her? And she was like, yeah, okay. And so, like I said, I told her how I was like, I'm gonna surprise her, blah blah blah. This is how I'd like to, like, I'm gonna pretend like I'm gonna pick her up for the meeting, but then we're gonna go see Rent, because we had like, because you get the best tickets from the radio station when you know the right people, you get the good shit. And so I saw Rent, I saw the producers. We were third row center and saw Chicago. Like I was so close that I was watching the performers. They were spitting. That's how close. Like, so if I go back and look at the cast of Broadway Across America that did these shows, like I wonder what they've done since then. They're playing roles, I love plays. I used to be in plays, but then I had too much responsibility to take care of. Hey, what's up? So I couldn't task my time to stay awake, to do this, take care of Mom over here, because it cuts into rehearsal time and blah blah blah. So I just Didn't, but I just figured every time I went out in the world, I was a part of corporate America, I was playing a role. I was being whatever the person wanted me to be to get through the transaction in least minimal discomfort for either them or me, and then things got weird. I took that same woman on weekend trips twice to Kansas City, once to Mall of America to do a shopping thing, and every single time she dumped me when we got home. People say, Marge, don't go out of town, live no more. But I've since taken on an attitude that everybody else is somebody's spouse. Even if they're single. It's kept me out of a lot of sticky situations. I'm from no place in every place. I'm a Mirage. I'm a mixed up Margie. That's my name. Margie mixed up as Mirage. So, if you see me, you're probably invisible too. And maybe don't have Earth in your chart. So, one time William Shatner, that one time we went to Minneapolis Mall of America, I can't stand William Shatner. I'm not a Trekkie. I'm Star Wars. Trekkie, I was just like, dude, it's just like what people that end up doing the stuffy mentality storylines do. Anyway. Well, I've come to find out some things that I share with other people, and that is Washington, D.C. and Hollywood are the same budgets, and they both exist to create a contrived reality to get people to think America is a really wonderful place, but really it's built on butt stuff. And these are ideologies that are coming to an end because we're coming up at 250 years, and that's when the civilizations fall. Because the egos get too out of control. The egos get too inflated. And then countries implode from within. Because you get all these machismos and women too that are going around all, this is how it's going to be because don't you know who I am? And I have my job because my uncle or my auntie got me this job. Or blah, 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 blah. See what's going on in New Mexico? The land of entrapment. That dude, I'm sure. I don't know. I don't think that I think he's done terrible things before because when you see that people lose their soul and they take, alcohol so willingly, so frequently, and they do weird, and they just weird stuff. When you act weird, that just gives you and inconsistent when your behavior is very inconsistent. See, my behavior has always been consistent, what has been happening with my life. That's why I talk about it here. It's basically a 9-year legal defense of, like, me being my own counsel, of defending my character. Like my side. Like with Deputy Doofus of Taos County. Like they hear a lady yelling at a sheriff, but they don't get that because they don't watch the video the next day that was the same Deputy Doofus that harassed me the day that my dog died. So they target people that are in a disassociated state because that way they can bring them in because they're a threat to society, and then they can lock people that are extra sensitive in cages so they can go crazy, so they can be medicated, so all the Deputy Doofuses of Taos County can collect a paycheck instead of giving people viable things to do where they can go to work every day or go do something every day so that they can add to their environment instead of driving around in big stupid trucks, racing around with flashing their guns, banishing their weapons here and there and wherever because they have a small one in their pants. Because that's why we go to war, because people feel inferior with what they have to offer to the world. They know that they don't have much to offer to the world. And so they feel bad, so they're gonna throw tantrums like little itty bitty childs that walk the Muppets and didn't grow up and evolve past that. Isn't America supposed to be built on like becoming the best version of themselves year after year? How come that isn't a thing? How come America got so slothful? Because that's what they want, for people to be lazy. Yeah. Oh, it's cold. It got cold. I'm trying to mash my second pepperoni taco. Pepperoni bagel taco. Mm. So, it's Aquarius season. Things have shifted. Whee! It's kind of dope. I was thinking this morning about how like I used to do all this stuff because I was so controlled as a child that when I got to the point that I could do whatever I wanted, I would. So I went to all these shows. I used to go to a lot of concerts. Like I was 15 in 1988. First show I ever went to was Primus, 77 miles from home, Chico University. Mom didn't care where I was. She needed a break from me. Where I'm meeting Les Claypool, bumping elbows with him, literally, watching a band called the Eskimo at a bar called the Bear in downtown Chico, and I was 15 years old. So as long as you look the right way and look the part, you can get into any situation that will have you. And if you're willing to do what they're willing to do, and see, that's the society that I grew up in, is the society that they break people's brains because they alter what your future could be. And so your psyche, it's like when you lose a limb. Like, and they call it phantom pain. There's people, and some people identify as transgender, trans this, trans different, when people, but that's just like, that could be, people are just trying to figure out their energy frequency and how it fits in their soul sacs. That's all. And so, like, Halloween every year to me, I quit Halloween when I was a kid because I knew about the terrible things that they did at Lost Lanes on Halloween. So I couldn't go out and eat candy because terrible bad things happen to humans and animals, and these are facts of life. So because of that, I can't support the other stuff while I watch so many people, blindly, not blindly, whatever. It's just a good time, under the gross stuff that has happened, the psyches and mental breaks that have happened because somebody was having a good time with a kid like me. But you can't talk about it because people will be terribly, terribly embarrassed. And I, quite frankly, am ready for a whole lot of people, America and all over the world, all the ones that cheated on their spouses because in the whole world thinks they're really great guys. Understand the bullshit and abuse that I've had to tolerate from pillars in the community, because they always like to do stuff on the down low. And they like to let you know that everybody thinks they're a great guy, but they're going to be such a dick to me. And nobody would ever believe me. How many times have I heard that for people in positions of authority? Even my own brother. I've been threatened my whole life. Agencies have not given me what, like, Mom hasn't even been, Mom, thank God, when we first moved here, like, we needed help, and Mom's eligible for I think as a disabled veteran, I might be able to get food stamps too. But we didn't use stuff unless we needed stuff, right? And we moved here and we needed stuff, and she couldn't get food stamps in this town. And that's when I'm like, Marge, it could have been different. They could have been cool here, but they had to suck because agencies exist as welfare systems for the employees within the agency, and they have nothing to do with helping their constituents. Nothing. It's just to keep that entity alive, that utility, that because people are figuring out that freaking all this electricity we're getting from the okay. This is how I see the soul cycle. This is a trip. People take their last breath, okay? That's your soul leaving your body. And the condition of your vibrational frequency of your whole life is surmised in that. So if you die in a state of fear, you're adding fear into the main atmosphere, into the no place space. How many people are dying in peace in 2026? Or because you don't get to die in peace and die a graceful death if you don't live in a life of grace. And if you don't have peace, you don't get to keep peace within your heart unless you're helping other people live a peaceful way, is what I found to be true. So all these people are dying. Look at the weather. Like, that's the last 5 years of bullshit death and people pissed off coming back to Earth, haunting the planet, going, you stupid dummies, stop listening to the dudes that are, and the chicks that are all about chasing sensation and doing weird shit to get advantages. You know, rituals and spells to conjure power because they don't have a fucking enough gumption in themselves to generate peace in the lives of others, to conjure their own power within themselves. Seems pretty no-brainer to me. So, everything's going to hell because too many people have lived that best life and they didn't inconvenience themselves. They didn't discipline themselves. The number of heart disease in this age is insane. A girl I went to basic training with, I was old when I went. She was like 18 when she went in. I was 25. I had 6 years of drinking and smoking on this broad, screwing around and playing too much, but I was always really active. I guess she wasn't, because she's rest in peace, Millie, because she had heart disease, you know, from all this shit that they gave her 20 plus years of being in the military. I found my shot records the other day. I took a picture of my shot records the other day so I could use them for a quick reference. I only did 6 years, but they had me see 9/11, and then they had me be a part of freaking us bombing Iraq, and then they tried to kill me off with their vaccines. So I got 8 anthrax vaccine. And the thing of it is, those here's the lot number. They gave me the same lot number, okay? The dosage is 0.5 milliliters. The lady, the 2 airmen, Jessica Eby, gave me the first series and the third, and then Patrick Denier gave me the second and fourth. And I got 2 at a time, but on here it says anthrax 1, 2, 3, and 4. It doesn't designate any place that they gave me 2. America's a liar. Not you. America's a liar. And the manufacturer is Bioport. Now let's look down Bioport. Then the other stuff they gave me is from Merrick and Thesis. That's what the military is about, is supporting Big Pharma. We are willing, unwilling participants. So let's go look up Bioport. If you're quiet, you might learn something. Bioport. Let's go look at their history. Bioport Here's an anthrax vaccine, war-related illness and injury study. How old is this? Because I don't know if I've seen this one. A resource of veterans, service members, and their family. What is anthrax? Why do they give us a vaccine? It's an AVA, inactivated vaccine made by Biothrax. It was licensed in 1970 and is made an virulent strain of Berculus anthraculus. It does not cause anthrax. I don't believe anything government says. I don't think I just think that it makes people nervous wrecks. That's what it does. And then they test it on us, and then they gave it to the whole world under the C19er guy's bullshit. And now look at all these oversensitive, shorted out little emasculated males, because she don't want your little Peter. Doesn't matter how much you move it up and down like a rabbit, she still don't think you're cute. Service members are typically administered the anthrax vaccine to prevent anthrax disease. I was getting out. Hey Tanya, what's up? I just found this whole ass thing about the anthrax vaccine that I'd never seen before. How do I save this? I message it to myself. That's how I save it. Here we go. I'm going to put it in the chat. If you want to look it up later, you can. I don't want to hear Joni Patry anymore. I'm busy, Joni Patry. Vedic astrologer. I got other stuff to do. Alright, so I got to go to me, view channel. Go here. What's going on? I connect the dots for the laymen that don't get that America and Washington, D.C. go any lengths to get America to unwillingly go along with its butt stuff and its Zionic bullshit over there in the name of freedom and democracy, when they're really playing gay while away and hide the crystals. America is owned and operated by a bunch of gay dudes that hate women. My brother's one. You know what's funny though? He hated me because he's a Virgo, right? So he's got the woman energy. I was the Aries. So he'd go hang out with guys and want to impress them. But they would be more impressed by me. And my, And so he became the egghead and just figured out that he could stack the deck by cheating, by just using knowledge. So he became in. So I'm outside playing, and he's inside doing stuff like stacking the deck, so the next time we play cards, he gets a royal flush. But he kind of gives me a good hand too. But still, he gets the. But then he miscalculates, or something happens, and then I end up getting the royal flush. Or he's in his bedroom, like, reading all the answers to Trivial Pursuit cards. So when we go over to Tom Carl's house and we play, he obviously wins. Because I don't care. I just care about participating. I forget answers. I'm a bad test taker. I never got extra time, though. Because I disassociate. Because they tried to create a little monster, and I wouldn't do their evil bidding. So I explain how small groups of people manipulate masses of people and then make fun of the masses of people because we are all so stupid that we just let it happen. Yeah. That's what I explain. And if people just chill out and get quiet within themselves, that things on earth can settle down. Go plant a garden. Go find somebody that has life that is so much worse than yours, because it's always worse. There's always somebody that has it so much worse. And go make their life better. To give yourself make yourself a little extra tired tonight so you can get some sleep. All these people complain about not being able to sleep. I'm like, well, that's because you're slothful. You sit around, relax. That's all people do. Like, look at all the industries that exist that those resources could go someplace else where they would be of better use. Isn't it pretty sad that there's so much in America for people all over the place? But what? Distribution? They have a problem with distribution. They can't just figure it out how to get things to people that they need, but they have no problem. I remember I was done. I have my Pisces. I have the planet Venus in my Pisces, so I am very fluid. Boundaries, they're all or nothing for me, and so I have categorically been depatronizing my heart and more giving it to collective good, universal law over man-made law, because there's too many different versions. Because you go over here, you have the UCMJ, and you can't do this, but over here it's okay. And it's just also terribly confusing because they convolute my boundaries by saying you can't do this, but then they do this stuff all the time. So it's just like, I go into situations and I'll say things like, okay, is this one of those situations that I can't do this, but in real life I can? Like, which scenario am I in? So people don't like that. And boundaries, and like, people want me to keep their secrets, and I'm just like, if you don't want people to talk about how you act, don't act those ways. Don't do it. So I don't know what, I don't know what, because in some circles they're bragging about behaving like this. The things I've heard men brag about is gross. And then because they think, because I like women, and I have a propensity for the ladies more than the hairy asses on planet Earth. Because I'm gonna treat them the same way that they would, and absolutely, undoubtedly, out of the question, that would never even happen. Because I'm a woman and I have self-respect, and therefore I would never let myself be treated by the way that they treat the person that's supposed to, let them do stuff to them until they die. So people are figuring out, oh my God, who I'm with isn't who they said they are? Oh my gosh. And who I thought this person was is exactly who they said they are? That's weird. That's dope. That's hella dope. Mom mimics. We end up kind of how we start out in life. So if we have if we're happy kids, or at least try, hopefully you got a little bit of semblance. But if you're one of those spoiled brats, as you get older, it's just you're never satisfied and you're always chasing sensation. You just can't get enough of hunting this trophy animal over here. It's like there's not, like, you've done everything and you just can't satisfy those urges anymore. And you can't do all those things you used to do because they're against the law, and people will throw you in jail and stuff. And so, I see a lot of people getting in trouble now, and they might not have done the thing that they did in this incident, but they did so many things before that they never got caught for. And it don't matter. It's between you and your higher power. It's all, my behavior is always between me and my higher power, and what other people think about me is absolutely none of my business. If people like me, it's none of my business. If people hate me, it's none of my business. What matters is that when I'm out in the world, if I can contribute in a positive way, more often than I can contribute in a negative way, then I am not bringing more destruction and animosity to this planet. I am bringing peace, and that's the least I can do, being a part and making money off blood money from being a part of bullshit military conflicts that we say that we have to go over there and take something because we feel like it. And that's bad karma. And now America's a third world country because all the destruction that we caused. And maybe we didn't. Maybe we didn't. I've never been to Israel. I've never been to the Gaza Strip. I've never. You look at it from. It's only 7 miles by 12 miles, and they've been bombing this place for 10 decades. I'm kind of wondering, like how come they're not done yet? It's because it's like they're playing gods, and Earth is an etch-a-sketch. I know people that have been in Israel. But I've been to Crete, and it's not what the map says it is. My experience, and I flew over on a plane. I would almost but I wonder what the 550 Marines saw, because I saw them leave Crete, and I saw them go off on the planes, and they were all gung-ho, kill, kill. They're all psyched up to go rain hell on Iraq in 03. And then I saw them when they came back to that same hangar, and all of those boys were completely different. So I'm not, maybe they were, maybe it was a sound stage in New Mexico, maybe, I do know a guy that's from Iran, I wonder what it would take to physically fly to Iraq and talk to people that were there in 03. And then you have the language barrier and translate, and then you got the stuff, all the stuff that comes with that, So there's no way of knowing, But the truth always comes out because it's a vibrational frequency, and the more there's people on this planet that are looking for the truth, they're seeking the truth, the more people on this planet are going to get the truth, and it doesn't matter if they like the truth. I'm alright. My whole life I wanted to know where my face came from because Mom was adopted in the 1950s. I always wanted to know what the background was, where she, why'd they give her up and all that stuff. You know what's funny? In 2020, ended up here in Taos, New Mexico, only to find out and meet relatives of Mom that because she was born and not raised in Cuesta. So when you look for the truth will find you. You want to know what America is? It's a bunch of fraternity brothers doing butt stuff on freaking soup, running off to play in the woods with their buddies, to burn off steam every freaking, Super Bowl Sunday for years and years and years. How unproductive is that? Grown men have been running in the woods, chasing things, hunting things for all time to feel like men. Because they're overcompensating for those sensitive feelings that they have inside. That's why people don't like me. I'm Scorpio moon. People think intimate things with me when I'm not a willing participant. That's why it gets you off the hook when you go out in the world and you have a mentality like mine that every woman on this planet is somebody else's wife or somebody, it's not yours. So then I'm not thinking thoughts because I have a propensity. I'm one of those people they hypersexualized at 10 months old. They turned switches on that made my body hyperactive in a lot of ways. The thing of it is my spirit wouldn't allow my extravagant libido. It wouldn't allow it. It wouldn't. Or it's like my boundaries. Okay, I'll be a hoe, but it's at least she's got to be hot. And unfortunately, all the places I've lived in my life, there haven't been a whole lot of hot chicks, right? So I I gotta go by how people feel, how they make you feel. And when people are so scattered because they're sleeping with this person and that person and this person and that person and everywhere, then you're sleeping with all these other people. And that creeped me out. I never liked that. So I could never be a hoe. I gotta turn on the heater. But I like the hoes kind of thing. I'm a total hypocrite. Anyway, so Aquarius season. So yeah, I got myself off the hook with a lot of people by just keeping those principles in my own head. You know what I mean? Because I've had weird circumstances. Like, I didn't sponsor when I was in recovery. I didn't sponsor women. It was weird to me. I didn't. It didn't. And the couple times I did, weird stuff would happen. This one time, this one chick, we're supposed to be going over step 1 or whatever, and I don't have any problem talking about my time in recovery anymore because they used. For years, they talked about Alcoholics Anonymous, and you keep everything's a hush secret, shush. It's another secret society. It's another cult. And then they have TV shows where they're like sitting down with people talking about step work. So it's not. Maybe it was. Now it's alcoholics talking about, the glory days. It's not so anonymous anymore. How many years? I'm not a fan of Eminem. That song that he did like back in 96 when he first came out. Yeah, I liked it then, but I left my like for him back then. And then like he got sober and every year he shows his coin of sobriety, and it's just like, dude, what about tradition 11? Like, you don't work the steps in tradition. Like, you don't do what I did to stay sober. So I guess I don't gotta go to meetings anymore because it's you guys make it all weird stuff, where it's okay that 21-year-old girls marry 40-something-year-old dirty cops, and that's okay. And it's not just those two. It's so many. Like the military. Like, how many people did I hear stories that they swap wives? Like, for good. Like, you end up at a base. Oh, she's hot. Okay, let's just trade. Okay, like, I know people that stuff is weird to me. Like, monogamy is, to me, where it's at, but chasing sensation, you got all these other people that they had switches turned on them too, but they didn't take the discipline way. See, every time I feel too much to something, and I feel like these feelings and sensations are overpowering me, that's when I pick up my dumbbells and I do sets of 300 until whatever ya's in me are out. Yep. Now we're coming in the freaking, I know a lot of people are gonna, like, how many people are experiencing extreme weather right now in all the places that they said they are? Like, they assign us our reality, and then people, or the experiencers, are like, no, it's not panning out this way. So, I mean, I know people are, it's fear. Cold to me is fear. Cold to me is like when the dead visit, like Sixth Sense. Like, woof. Who's that, Uncle Jessica? Is that you, sis? Probably. She's with me a lot. Like, because if you get to live long enough, there's more people on the other side than on this side that you know, and they're always with you, and you're never alone. You're just, oh hey, it's just passing through. They're just checking in, because heart like attracts like, and hearts are magnets, and we attract our likeness to people we care about, and then people lose things and people that they love, and then they get so mad about it. Look at the world. Look at the Biff, the president. Look at all he's doing because there's some girl someplace that got away, and he's been mad about it ever since. You can't be mad about stuff, You got all these people that are trying to write the history books, and it's just like, dude, How many people did you shit on just so you could have your version on a page? And so now America's rectifying all this shit it gave out to the rest of the world. It's getting it back. It's coming back around. What goes around comes around. It's come back around. So I'm just gonna not add to it. I'm just gonna stay the peaceful being. Yeah. God don't want me out. It is funny, this dude that I listened to his astrology, he had a heart procedure done for something. And that was the same day that I took my car into the shop, and something happened where he has to go back because they couldn't they couldn't do it right. Something happened, right? So that was and I took my car in the same day, but it has to go back for a second procedure, which is fine. When I used to get mad when the car might have car problems, because where I live, it's hard to get stuff into stuff to get fixed. You gotta wait. You gotta be patient, and then sometimes you get ripped off still. Just life is about how much am I willing to take without, before it becomes such an imbalance that I'm giving to the person that I'm paying. It's like fair trade is dead in America because there's so many billionaires that have what they have from not lifting a finger, really. Maybe a click, maybe a tap on the string. Because that's what it's about. It's all about clicks on the screen. How much can we get the recipient to engage taps on the screen in our community? So it's a trade-off. So I have to keep my hands busy. Idle hands. So I made a real badass batch of caramel. I'm stoked about it. Had some a little bit for breakfast. It's real nice. And then I don't know. We're just hanging out, huh, Mom? Kind of enjoying each other's company. I should probably start the car today. I'm pretty sure that they put the spark plug wires on the wrong firing sequence. I bet I looked up the firing secrets. So either they put the distributor cap offset. I have it. I found the firing sequence. I wonder if I could just fix it myself. I might give it a go here in a little while. When the sun comes up a little bit. It's still too chilly in my bits. And it's not near as cold as it is in other places. But that's what the forecast does, is they tell us how it's going to be, and then with our perception, we create the reality of this. And then the karmic retribution on top of that really designates, man. Like, I see some of these people going over, like, Pikes Peak and stuff like that. Like, dude, that's scary. No. Evidently, I died that way before. I don't want to do that again. So it looks like it's past Oklahoma. I don't know what day it is. Today's Wednesday. I wonder if they got snow. You get any snow? I have a cousin down in Oklahoma, and she talks about the nice weather. So, and the bubbles. So hopefully the bubble sticks up today. Hopefully the bubble stays. That she didn't get it. Because she's older than me. Like in her 70s. Younger than Mom. And she has horses and stuff. And I can picture the pain in the ass of trying to keep troughs from freezing with mobility issues, with like bad knees and hips and stuff like that. That sucks. But they have handy contraptions for people. There's solutions everywhere. They just have to help with distribution. So, on the continuing quest of me losing my hearing, it's tinnitus. It's the vibrational frequencies they put. That's why your muscle is, your brain is a muscle, and it's important to work it out by doing dexterity, like using different parts of it. And there's lots of ways people can do that by, like, if you're left hand, start writing with your right hand. It doesn't even matter if it's backwards. Just write. Just do something different. I'm ambidextrous in a lot of ways because, I screw around a lot. I try it this way. I try it that way, and I'm good at both because there's a sweet spot. And people don't. Now everybody's brains are turning to mush. Once spring hits, hopefully people will start getting out there more, and they'll get their body in a rhythm. Muscle memory is so crucial, important to advancing in years. People don't recognize that. So you got all these famous, important people at all these parties all these years that they're drooling on themselves now because they did too much coke and they played too much, and now they're a shell of who they once were because of chasing sensations. So the world's changing. Where I live, it's changing every day. I came back home on a road that I haven't been on in a while, evidently. This new property that, like, they came in, put a motor, like changed the whole landscape of the ride in this back road. Whole ass fence, privacy fence put up. Just boom. Here we are. Damn. Established in Taos. And I want to see more people have those benefits, to be able to go wherever they want and establish themselves and then build that place. And if they want to invite other people to that place and space and exchange ideas and things like that, that's badass too. That's pretty dope. That's hella dope. Freezing rain starts Friday afternoon. See, this is why I like to ask people their experience of where they are. Because when I look at Wendy, okay, Wednesday, I'm watching the storm advance. Friday, it's coming down. So this is from the south. I gotta get screenshots of this. I don't know. Probably something, probably nothing. Probably both. Anyway, you waking up, Mom? You starting to stir? I know it's cold, that's for sure. Anyway, alright, that's about all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a rad day.